What's poppin'? Voices of house music. So the first time I believe I ever heard house, I would probably say I was in high school, and there was a specific piece that we did within the dance program, and it had like this, I remember it was like this beat that was like a loop, and it was consistent, and it was kind of just like had this natural feeling of like mm, mm, mm. I don't remember what track it was because it was like a mix, but I remember how I felt when I heard it, and I felt consistent, and I felt like I was in the music, like in the pocket. I was, like I said, in high school. I was probably like a sophomore, I believe, and I was in the dance program, and I was in the dance studio, and we were just showing each other our pieces, and this girl played this track, and I was just like, I know I've heard things like similar to this, but dang, this is like different, So within the music map, actually, I decided to choose the song Plastic Dreams by JD. It's under the Deep House section, which I had no idea there was this many versions of house. This is the track I specifically chose. I don't know if you can hear it, maybe. But I picked this song specifically because I really appreciated the fact of how it built up. It started off with one instrument that was very consistent, and then throughout the track it just kind of keeps on doing the same thing. It keeps layering and layering and looping. Oh, see, the sounds are right there. I was like, what is that sound? So yeah, that's this track. Let me lower it a little bit. And then I believe the song genre is connected to deep house. Its influences do come from just like slower tempos and also down sampled sounds. So a lot of the things that I hear within deep house is that there's a lot of groovy waves within the sounds. A lot of what you would say, I guess, soulful house. So I feel like that is mostly like what it's influenced by. It is also produced by, JD, I believe. And what subgenre of house music does that fall within? So, yeah, it would have to be deep house, of course. But overall, there is no instruments within deep house, is what, not instruments, there's no voice, mostly, within deep house. Something that I learned that I didn't actually know is that within deep house, there's an absence of climax in lyrics. So that's another reason why I chose this track, is I really appreciate the fact that there is no lyrics. Usually I'm a person that always chooses something that has to have context. So it's nice to just have the instruments as the complete context. And then I would say that the overall sounds that I feel that are within this in other forms of music would probably be like within, I want to say, like funk, of like house funk, or like a mixture of that. And it's crazy because funk actually came in like after this deep house genre came through. So also the visit with Pete today definitely inspired me and just really like gave me a different outlook on a lot other than just house music, but basically gave me the understanding of how house music is appreciated within Phoenix, and how it's appreciated where it's possibly like rooted from, or where it is rooted from. And it's crazy how the environment, or just like the urbanization of certain societies, can really either like alter or change the way that music is being pushed out, or how it's being perceived, or who's joining it, or who's like, putting themselves like through this journey of dealing with house music. So I think overall, from my understanding, is that within Chicago, house music was greatly appreciated within like the club scene. You know, a lot of like that's all they really go for, and that's where like a lot of the root where it comes from was within the club scene. Like you'll like that feeling within the club is different from then you'll just hear a track like house track by yourself in your room or something. And as far as being out in Phoenix, it's more so of like creating, I feel like, that environment for people, creating a platform for where they can feel that, rather than just knowing like you go somewhere else in the South and it's a given, you know, it's there. And like it's here for us, it's here, but it's people like Pete who have given us that like opportunity to reach those findings of house, and also other pioneers and advocates within the community. I would say that house amplifies individual, collective, and global voice because it's a genre of music, and I feel like music in general it's a voice of amplifying anyone, and house specifically like targets specific people. Like Pete mentioned, back then if you listened to house you were considered gay. A lot of people would say that the way their music is, that the music that they choose to listen to says a lot about who they are. As a collective, it says a lot about, you know, chemistry, and like Pete said, house music brings in specific people who are specifically open-minded at times, and like I feel like those people, like that's important to know, and I truly felt him when he said that, because I know a lot of the house dancers that I know, or people that I know that are specifically connected to house, are very open-minded and beautiful people. And I think globally, it amplifies a voice because it's still being like processed. It's still being like taught, like each one teach one, no matter what. Like you can put that into any context of any subdivision or genre of music or dance, and I feel like house music is still there. Like it's still being processed, it's still being taught to others, whether it's the movement, whether it's the music. The movement wouldn't happen without the music, so it has to be the music. But overall, that's my thought process. I'm really thankful for my findings today and overall what I've been listening to as far as house. So thank you. Have a good Friday.